to the Light at Night podcast. I'm your host, Saul. And my co host is.
Candace,
Yeah,
hello.
yes. I don't know what happened to Ed. Do you know what happened to Ed there, Candy?
I think that he was just so cheap he could not attend this podcast. He could not see spending $25 on a whole day.
Um, yeah, I can see that. So, today's podcast, we thought we'd do a little fun little scenario. I saw he's a financial guru. I'm not going to say his name. He's pretty big, but he said that you can take your family out for a day with only spending $25. And I was curious if you could do that. So, and the scenario is, you only have $25. Your gas tank is full, and you don't have to worry about dinner. So everything's taken care of. Now, so between 9 and 5, you have to figure out how to take care of your family. Um, so, yeah. So I'm doing a scenario since I don't have kids. I worked with a guy who, the only way I can say it was a deadbeat. He tried every way possible to take care of his family without spending a lot of money. So I'm going to play that role. Candace is going to play the role of actually a good parent, and going to say how she would do it. So, you want to start first, Candace, or you want me to do it?
Sure, I'll start first.
Okay. So 9 o'clock in the morning. Are you going to? Yeah, you got $25. You don't have to worry about dinner. So there you go.
All right. Well, for the first situation, what I would do would be plan ahead of time a scavenger hunt at one of our local parks
Okay.
and take a hike. So I would plan, different things, different types of leaves or animals, different, types of geo things, stuff like that we'd be looking for throughout the day. Take a good healthy hike. And
Yeah.
I'd use my $25 to buy snacks and water and some kind of lunch for the kids because they're not going to make it all the way to dinner without food and driving me nuts. So I think that's what I would do. Get some good fresh air and vitamin D.
So you're spending the $25 all at once, just buying it all for the snacks and everything.
Yep, bottles of water, stuff like that to keep the kids from crying and being hungry until dinner.
Okay. Okay. Uh. Yeah. I mean, yeah. So you would do that until 5 o'clock.
Yep.
The whole day of just outdoor wilderness. This.
Yes.
Okay. So I will do the scenario of this guy, and these are actual stories he told me, and I believe he did it. So, so
Oh
he,
boy.
so he said, oh, he's like, yeah. So my wife gives me $25 in the morning, before she goes to work because she has another job. My job is to take care of the kids. So I got $25 to take care of the kids. She said she'd take care of the dinner. So I was like, all right, cool. So the first thing I do, I gotta get my cigs. So I stop at a gas station, and I pre-roll. I roll my own cigarettes. So those cost like $5 or whatever. And then I gotta get my Mountain Dew. So I get my Mountain Dew, and then I asked the kids if they wanted anything. They say no, and I was like yes. So I get to keep more money for myself. So so
Uh,
so he's like, I buy my cigarettes and I get my Mountain Dew, and I've heard of a tip of a pancake breakfast prayer luncheon type thing. So I'm like, yes, free food. So I'm taking my kids over to this prayer luncheon thing, and I go over there and tell my kids, get as many pancakes as you can because they're free. So we go in there and we eat up all the pancakes, and well, not all the pancakes, but we eat our fill of the pancakes, and then I let them run around like little wild demons around the church while everyone's doing what they're supposed to do. I see this as an opportunity for free babysitters. So while the kids are running around the church, I am outside rolling a cigarette and drinking my Mountain Dew. On my phone talking to my boys.
Oh,
So is this before I continue? Does this have you met people like this?
yeah, yeah. I definitely have more than I care to say.
Oh yes. So, after I get done, smoke my cigarette, and my kids have just terrorized everyone in the church because it's a prayer luncheon. But I was using it as a babysitting opportunity. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna treat my kids. I'm gonna take them to Walmart, and I'm gonna let them play with the toys in there. So I go to Walmart and I let them just run around the toy aisle and for about 20 minutes or whatever. And they asked me, "Can we buy the toys?" I said, "No, no, we ain't got money for that. Just play with them right here." So my kids are just running around the toy aisle, playing with the toys, open up the toys. I make sure we don't steal it. You know, but we got to test it, and then we get a Walmart employee come back, ask me, "Sir, do we need any issues or do we need any help?" I said, "Nope, nope. We're getting ready to leave." So my kids open up like 5 or 6 packages of toys, and I tell them to throw them back on the shelves, and we leave. So, so we get out, and my kids tell me they're thirsty, and there's a casino pretty close. So I was like, all right. So we go to the casino. I tell them to wait in the parking lot. Now my kids are like 5 or 6, so they can
Wow.
they can watch each other for a little bit. I was like, all right, watch them, and because the casino has free drinks. So I go in and get a drink of Coke. I figure since I got some money, I'll put some $5 in the slot machine while I'm at it. So I put the $5 in there, and yeah, I didn't win anything. So I come out with a Coke and I give it to them. Now my other kid's like, "Well, I wanted something to drink." I was like, "All right, cool." So I go back in and get another Coke for free. And well, since I'm in there, I might as well just put my other $5 in there and see if I can get a little lucky for Daddy there on the slot machine. And yeah, I didn't win, so I bring out the stuff and give it to my kids. So they are properly hydrated. So now I'm like, well, I've heard a little tip that my friend is having a birthday party today with free pizza. So I was like, oh yes, I take my kids there. And I tell them like, hey, we're invited. We're actually not invited, but I kind of just invite myself to this birthday party, and because it's in a park, so I tell my kids to eat as much pizza as they can. So we get there, and I let them just run loose like wild animals. And while they're running loose and everyone's watching my children, I am out to the side smoking a cigarette again and talking to my boys, planning my routine for tonight. Watching a boxing match or whatever. And yeah, so I spent like 2 or 3 hours there at the park. While other people are watching my kids, I'm just over there smoking cigarettes and eating free pizza. And yeah, so after that, it's time to go back home because my wife's getting off work. So I go back home with the kids and tell my wife, all right, well, here you go. I watched the kids all day, which I really didn't. But, I watched the kids all day. I got to go be with the boys. Now, so my wife's just worked, for 8 hours, and I expect her to do all the work while I'm, playing with the boys tonight. So that's
Wow.
that all that didn't happen in one day. At least I hope it didn't happen in one day. But
I was curious to say, I think I know this guy. Are you sure it didn't all happen in one day? Yeah, I
that
would
was
be divorced.
so. Unfortunately, you said you've met parents like this.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. I've watched other people's kids while their parents acted like this. So I've
Oh,
had my son's birthday parties crashed and all kinds of stuff. A couple times by random neighborhood people when we were in the backyard. So,
all right.
yeah.
See, that's even
Yeah.
so.
Yeah. Oh, my kid played with your kid this one time 3 years ago when they were on the sidewalk with the chalk, and I thought maybe it'd be a good idea to come hang out. Is that pizza? Oh, yeah, we'll stay for some cake. Yeah, wait a minute.
So,
No?
so it wasn't the kids. So I can understand kids don't because kids don't have boundaries. I get that. But you have actually had parents come over and it's like,
Yeah.
hey, how's it going?
Yeah.
And just drop their.
Yeah, they'd hang out long enough to eat and smoke a few cigarettes and bull crap, and the next thing you know, they're nowhere around, and their kid is destroying everything. Yep.
Yeah, I think you have to take a long, hard look at yourself if you're this parent.
Yeah.
I just can't see. I don't know. I just can't see just dropping. I mean, because I have two dogs. It'd be like me going to a dog park and just, all right, guys, have fun, and my dogs are terrorizing everybody while I'm just off to the. I don't know. I
Yeah, there are more parents than you would imagine that actually do that.
okay. Well,
Yeah.
uh, do you have anything else to add to this? This
Yeah.
podcast would have been longer if we had Ed. Ed though has I don't know, he can't keep a schedule, I guess. So
He's
uh,
out using his $25 wisely. Uh, I
yeah,
do have a couple more good, at least I hope they're good parenting scenarios, if that
sure,
helps at
sure.
all.
No, yeah, go ahead.
All right. Well, I think most of my $25 each day is going to be spent on snacks and lunch. So we'll go ahead and get that out of the way. I'm using that the same way on both of my scenarios.
Okay,
But another one is here where we live, we have the arts center that is free
okay.
to visit.
Hmm.
So that's where we're going to go for part of the day. The morning, I would take the kids to the library where they have the reading for the kids and they let them pick out books. They do a little sing along and stuff, and it's free.
We still have libraries.
Yeah, I know, right? Yes.
No, I mean
Yes.
I'm not trying to be sarcastic. I didn't know there were still libraries around. That's interesting.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we have a few right around us here. So, yeah, they do it free, and the kids get to interact with other kids, and they read to them, and they get to pick out a book, and just all kinds of fun stuff. And that's usually about 2.5 hours. So we do that. We grab lunch, and then we would go to the art center for the remainder of the day and look at every single thing in there and learn something about each thing that we look at. And I
Yes.
think that will get us through until dinner time.
Uh,
Everybody's safe, everybody's fed, they're well educated that day. We've spent family time together. Nobody's hanging out in the parking lot in a car, so I think we're good.
this is like we're going to get culture today, and we're going to watch and look at every single inch of this paintings.
Yes. I want to know who painted it. I want to know what year. I want to know what mood they were in when they painted it. Yes.
Now, obviously, determines what age your kids are, because I can't imagine, because my nephew's 3. I can't imagine taking my nephew to a art gallery because he'd be running all over the place.
Well, that's the other cool thing about it is they have all kinds of stuff besides just paintings. They've got like a mummy exhibit, all kinds of stuff, but
Yeah,
they have a big room that they do crafts for the kids and it's free too. So you can
gotcha.
take them in there, let them play for a while. They get to do a craft and take it home with them.
Yeah,
They got a 3D printer in there, so you get to pick, different item. Of course, they keep the stuff because it's so expensive to print it, but each kid gets to pick out of a little group of things that they have, and you can print like a car or a truck or whatever, and they tell them how it works. And
gotcha.
so, you can break it up. I went there with some pretty small kids on a field trip, and they all did well for the most part. Except for your buddy you were talking about's kids. I think they were there because they acted crazy. But
Well, the that guy was that story I told you. He told me what he would do to wear his kids out is because he was a bow hunter. He would practice shooting at targets in the backyard, and he's like, after I get done, I'll tell my kids to run out there and go get the arrows for me. He's like running them back and forth through the yard. That wore them out. I'm thinking, I guess.
wow.
I was like, yeah, I guess, but you're still shooting up a arrow, and I don't know.
Uh,
Yeah,
moving targets. That's a whole new concept of moving targets right there.
yeah. I can't imagine having my
Damn.
nephew. I can't imagine having my nephew out there while I'm shooting a projectile at something and telling him, "Now you stand right there, don't move." I mean, I don't know. I don't know. So you
That's
said
how
you
they
had.
learn to dance.
So you said you have one more scenario.
Yes. Again, it's an outside activity. Frisbee golf is free,
Yeah, yeah.
and there's several parks that have it. So
And
again,
that,
I'm using my money on picnic foods,
yeah,
bottles of water,
yeah.
and it takes a while to get through Frisbee golf.
It's true.
So we'll do that until we get through it, and then we'll do a little bit of time running around the playground, getting energy out, and then we're going home for dinner.
So your strategy is to wear your kids out to where they just once you get home for dinner, they're just ready to go to sleep.
Yeah, they're gonna eat dinner and brush their teeth and get their baths and go to bed. But they had good fun and it was healthy and good
Sure.
interaction. So
But
again, not at the casino parking lot.
they didn't learn how to be thrifty thrifty spenders though.
Sure, they did because they didn't get to spend money on their activities, and I didn't buy them a bunch of stuff in
Uh,
between. So
Well, how are they going to learn how to terrorize Walmarts with play with free toys?
well, I don't know. I'm really happy that they won't be learning that because there'll be the adults that are ripping things off the
Uh,
shelves and
yeah.
wadding them up, and yeah.
No,
Nope, I worked in retail, so I'm not having that.
I told him, I was like, dude, so you let your kids terrorize Walmart? He's like, hey, I'm creating jobs. I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, okay, man.
He's creating openings for someone else that's going to quit next time he comes by. So,
Yeah.
sure.
All right. Well, you got any more scenarios?
I think I'm tapped out for the day. I think I feel pretty good about myself and my kids. I don't know about this guy's kids. And I think I may see them in therapy. So, he created something for me later on in life. Thanks, bud.
All right. Well, that was a little. It was a little shorter today, so you guys hope you enjoy. And if you did, like, subscribe, and we got more goofy topics to talk in the future. So we'll see you next time.